this data provider because I didn't really look into it, but could you just briefly go over what it does?
Yeah, sure. Okay, guys. So about data provider, it's a TestNG feature. Annotation is data provider from TestNG, and once you declare data provider, you can name it. We name items because we are looking for items in Amazon. So we want to have list of items under this data provider, so we can search by those items. Now, this is how the declaration is. Whatever name you want, and if you name items, you should call that as items here. So at test annotation, we are passing the data provider, and we're saying pass that items list, and the list is here. So this method return some list of a string, like books, baby, computer. So you can go as you need more data to be listed. So data provider way to supply data to test annotation method. So you're saying, hey, run this method for each items. It will run books for this entire method, and baby for this method, and computer, so on. So data provider is a way to supply data, to inject data into these test methods. So this is how you declare annotations, name, and this is return as an object type. It could be string, but usually as an object, then whatever you're receiving that, you consider as a string, and we declare it as a strings there, but it's going to return as object. This method will return as object. So return new objects. It doesn't do that. It does. You have to have two dimensions. So now we have option to, as I said, mentioned before, that you can read from Excel file, you can read from database. Another way to do it instantly is from data provider. So you don't have to deal with, if it's a small list, that can be manageable within the code. So you can declare as a data provider from TestNG features. If the list is larger, then maybe better off a database or Excel file. So yeah, this is how you declare annotations and the name of the provider, and then return those, say return new objects, and you declare as an array. So it's going to run for each items. So this annotation, which is search using data provider, it will search items for each item listed on this array. So this method will execute 3 times. You will see that it launched the browser 3 times because we have 3 different data. So for each item, it will have each instance of browser session. And then you close the browser and look for baby, do the test for baby, search for items, close the browsers, and again we'll launch for the computer, do the same thing. Yeah, questions? Yeah. So data is coming from here, right? First you get the books, right? Is because item is providing the first data, which is books, and that book will pass to search for. Search for is in the search item class, and once you receive the book, it will search for it. Book is searched, right? And it's in a close-up browser. Then you're going to load the second items. What is the second item now? Baby, right? So you're going to search for baby. Right? Left, you see? Okay. 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 All right. So this is how it works, data provider. Question? Aman?
Mafi, wait, I had a question not related to what we're doing right
Aman?
now. Yes,
Can you hear
Mafi,
anyone? Let me see if the mic on.
can you hear me?
Someone in the class can talk online.
Yes, hello?
Someone, hold on a second. It's probably my mic is not working.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can anyone hear me? Okay.
Okay. I cannot
Yes,
hear
Mafi.
anyone.
Hello? Like somebody? Hello?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, no?
Unmuted.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, we
but
can hear.
I cannot hear anyone.
Like somebody?
Second.
Muted.
Hello? Like somebody? Mafi, wait, can you hear me?
Shown by us?
It's fine. Devam edin. Devam edin.
I did not know that. It's just doing it in close to it. It was before it takes it after the snapping. That's like.
Will we be touching Selenium IDE?
Huh?
Will we be touching Selenium IDE?
Oh, no. We're not going over Selenium IDE.
Okay.
Okay. So, guys, Selenium IDE is a record and playback. Uh, you can spend time on it, like a few minutes, and it's okay to use it in a sense if you cannot figure out what the source code going to be for particular steps. But industry will not going to hire you once you tell them, hey, you know Selenium IDE, you don't know much descriptive programming. So Selenium IDE is for who are new to programming and also new to Selenium. And also not only that, some people do use to make some source code out of some steps without thinking, without writing how it should be written. So as a professional test developer, you shouldn't rely on IDE. But it's good to know in the sense if you get stuck with some problems and you don't know how to figure it out, you can take a look on IDE, generate some code for you. But you shouldn't rely on. But the problem is, if you slowly rely on IDE to generate code, and your skills you're not building your skills. So that's one problem. That's why I discourage you not to use it. But if you can control it, then it's okay. Go ahead, use it. Any other questions? RC, they don't use in the industry anymore. Last few years have been, well, it was heavily used in 2010, 11, 12. Not 12, 11 up to. Then from 11, they start using slowly on WebDriver, which is Selenium 2. And also, a lot of the library have deprecated in RC. So you should rely on mostly WebDriver, not RC. Go ahead, Bilal.
Yes, so I actually have two questions. First is related to the page factory. I noticed that for your page factory in this one, you have a method there too. So should we only include like web elements there, or is it okay to have methods in there as well? I mean, we could put the methods in our common methods too, right?
Talking about which method particularly?
This search for method that you have. If you go all the way down, this search for this method is coming from your page factory class, right?
Right.
So should we only include like web elements, or can we include this like small methods like this in the page factory, or should these go in common methods? What would be the best practice for this one?
Okay, so one way to do it is build the page factory the way we did it for here, such items. Okay, another way to do it, if you don't have, I know that you can make page factory, right? Like this one, we have drop-down menu. So what we did is we built another layer of class and one method that, oh, this is a test class. Okay, let's go one step up. Where is that? Right here. So for drop-down menu page, this is not a page factory model, but what we did is all the web elements we also passed, and this type by CSS or click on CSS, that is part of the base from generic. So we're calling that methods from Common API, which is type by CSS. Get text element from get text from web element. It's also from Common API. So we are calling those methods, but we can pass the locators here, which is this is not a test class. This is simply a helper class, or you could say another middle layer of class that is providing that some method to the test class, which is drop-down menu search. This is the test method. So over here, we can call simply that type on input search. So this is not going to receive any web locators, but we are receiving this the text, which is it's okay to receive data here, but not to receive any sort of OIB elements. So all the OIB locators should be passed here, which is under main Java and one of the package, not under test Java. So test Java will only have actual test cases, or maybe wrapped up in the main class and called one of the methods, like type input search is it's from here in the main Java that type input search. So this can only receive some data, but all the if the database connections or Excel, or if it's OIB locators need to be injected, that could be part of this main Java here. These OIB locators we don't want at all under test annotations methods. We don't want to do that here.
Okay.
We simply want.
And yeah, thank you. And regarding the data provider, can we combine data reader and data provider? Can we like pass like Excel within the data provider, just rather than entering like these items over there, to avoid and having a loop inside the test?
Which method are you talking about?
The data provider annotation. So can we use like instead of us passing the elements there, like books, baby, and computer,
Right.
can we use the data reader? Like, can we read from Excel within this one and pass it through there? So
Yeah.
that in that way we wouldn't be writing the loop inside the test, right?
Yeah, we can do that too. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Try that. Yeah. So one thing, guys, read that you have 2 Selenium books, and also read the blogs and whatever resource you find online. Many different people use different tactics and strategy. Follow that. Maybe you find good one, and you can adopt that. You can also implement here on your framework and see if it works better. Try to utilize that too. Not only one way to do it, one problem can be solved many ways. So try different resources, different tactics or strategy or design patterns you find. You should try different people's view and their design patterns. That way you can build more skills. It's better to try, not only just close the door, just one option. Rather, should be open to accept or to to follow other reporting standard design patterns they use. Okay, so we have the file. All right, let's try with the Excel file. So this is the class. It's reading data from Excel file, data reader, and this is the path we provide, data file.xls. So we get the path, data file.xls, fine. Okay, so in the data reader class, right, and there's a file reader method. It's going to throw error. So invalid header signature, and your file appears not to be valid document.
I think you should create like a new Excel file. That one was corrupted.
It was corrupted, okay. So file1.xls.
I think it's file one.
Yeah, under user, oh, file1, yes. And it should be under this IDE projects. File1.xls. And it's Excel workbook.
The fourth option, 97, 52 left.
Yeah. All right, run again. So we've been doing this fine. All right, let's see. What's the problem? Wow. All right, so is it the path issue or? Till is run. So what is saying? File not found exception. System cannot find the file specified. XLS, right? This is the extension. Should be.
Could it be because you saved that? Does that matter?
Is this save as a template?
Yeah, it wasn't the workbook, it was saving that template.
Okay. Where did the file go? Oh.
Save it as the fourth one, I believe. It's the fourth one, 97 to 2000 workbook. Fourth option.
Yeah, that's XLS, right? And user IDE projects.
Yeah, you have to use
X. Okay, what else you do? Oh, it worked. So you got those items, right? All right. But it's failed for some other reason. That is, okay, we'll figure it out why it's failed. Now I can go back to just single slash. Okay. All right, so we got we get 7 laptops, okay. Then it'll return as value, okay. So now search for, right? Search for will receive the first value. Oh, it's null. Why is null? Item is null. Okay, I have to go back, fix that. So in here, read it become null. We have the value and we're going by one by one, right? Read is null, so that's why it's null, of course, right? So We have to arrange different way. No. So value have this, and we're running for each loop. So maybe that's why you can run for each loop there, but I don't know why what's happening. How about running integer I equals 0, I less than value, right? Dot length plus plus. So we don't need this value of I, right? So this is this. Anyway, extra. Okay, yeah. Oh, let's try it again. What now? Key should be a string. So you're using something there. So search for, right? Search for key dot enter. We used this one before for data provider. There was no problem. Search tree. Okay, try to look at that. I am still null. So value of 0. Value have those data. Starting from 1.
Yeah, that's and should be I is less than or equal to value then? Or
Yeah. That. Okay, so it's our first search is 7, right? Clear. The second item is laptop, right? Then the item is honey, iPhone, and it's passed, right? Okay. So this first one, simply call items, because first row is so you can list as many items as you want now, right? And so on. So if you have a lot of items, So you can grab some items. So on. Key. Items. Okay. Any questions on Excel Reader? So you don't need this line, and so items to be searched, and these two lines you can throw into somewhere else. So what you can do is
I know that's how Visual Studio is like $500 if you want to play it. I have the operation because they use for the brand. So each university student is like 2 or 3 weeks on they can actually
Yeah.
So I have a friend who gave me her the 10 Pro. And as soon as he's a friend, they don't even have that IDE anymore. You guys do our trade on the local computer. And then they don't ever have it tells you to upgrade it. Yeah, and never update that thing. I mean, 2007 I the new one, they're good. Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Just be like two methods. One is like to grab information from you could do it with queries and decide where you want that, or you could do it manually. I think manually would be better in this case because it's more manageable. Yeah, okay, and then it's
So search.
There's one with it's a little confusing. Or there's another one with someone that we did it on test and getting
Search items, right?
You're using JJ, not test and G.
Oh, did I? Okay. Okay, so no wonder. Something went wrong. So null pointer exceptions on this. Search for. Common API. You have the value, okay?
That's why I always know which is my good master.
So that didn't work. And this. Questions?
Unmuted.
Guys, shh. Any questions? Yep. Okay, once it's done, then yeah, I'll do come back. Once you like it working, yes. Sure. Uh, so that is throwing the null pointer exception. And such items is
you need it in root and then numerical. In root, you would add the version, I think like that's 3.15. UI. But this one. Oh, actually, no, mine's not. No, mine is because I put in a fancy program, so you can use 100% of something. You can put another program, so you can use 100% all the time. Well, unless that's what you're doing. In another page, I have to take some line. Yeah, that is not like a work. You want to use it, I said, yeah, it's not fine. Like, they might do it. Like, not. Yeah, at least IDE or but unless it yeah, I have a problem there.
it's the layer, what do you call it?
Are you talking about Jenkins or are you talking and then also like run it on the front end there. So Jenkins can also not the other way around. So Foxlab is just like if you go and it's sort of pretty good. It's like that's actually a good tool to run the I only looked at the graph. I only looked at the processor and the rest. The rest is irrelevant. Maybe the entire thing. This thing that it generates so much there. I like category. I don't know if it's
So you can put it here, and
well, we didn't come to it. I was like a Mac. If you're using a processor higher than your income, there's really no other way around it. But ACE is probably one of the best. And that's the thing, so we can check the two. So fast, but Gateway is just like, it's usually just a gateway, it's like a gateway. Yeah, I mean, you know what doesn't use its own. Yeah, it's a brand name. Yeah, it's like.
All right, guys. I tried to make it clear and look like throwing null point exceptions there. So we're going to go back to where we have, but in a separate class. So search items. So search items with Excel file, right? That can be. Let's make sure it works. Yeah. So search items by accelerator, right? Shh, please, let's not talk now. 17. Okay. Yeah, it's a method name. So even though it's wrongly spelled, we didn't throw any error, but we should name correctly. Yes. Okay. If you have more than one Excel, yes. So the question is, what if you have more than one Excel file in data folder that you want to use or search for? Okay, that you can do that too. Now, so item to be searched is this is the class are responsible for. So item to be searched, this is where you're passing this data/file1, right? So now, if you have how many? Give me number. If you have a large number of files, then we can think one solution. If you have like 2 or 3 files, it's another solution, right? So if you have maybe 10, 15 files or more, you can throw into these properties and read one by one file, right? And we can pass file 1, 2, 3, so on, run a loop. Or you can use array or map, throw into that, and read one by one file. If it's like 4 or 5 files, maybe you can put it here. If more than that, then you can use that the properties file, right? So in the properties file, you can store the way you saw in we read for database connection. So in the properties file, you can store those file numbers and read one by one file. Or you can store, if it's like a number of files, then you can store in the array list or map, maybe, right? Various ways you can solve that. So this method, which is get data, is simply going to grab data from Excel file using the DataReader class. Once your read is done, then it'll store into a string array, and that's going to return as a string array. Once it's returned, then we can run the test, which is right here, right? Once you return, we can run a loop and search for each items. Okay. So now this, we don't need this anymore here, right? Can take this out. So what you can name it is this. Refactor it. So search items by Excel. And we can create another class. Search item items by database, right? And you can copy that into here, right? Is common API, right? Extending. So you're going to say extend from common API, fine. And this can run also test. and we need to import that test annotation. Don't give me test in G. Don't give me JUnit org dot testng dot. And now this can be renamed to search items by data provider, right? Okay. So Excel database. So you can get rid of this, right? Okay. So we have comment here. It's pretty straightforward for the data provider, right? And for database, this is the page initial factor, right? Page factor initialization. This is the connected database, and once you connect, then read database, store into array list, and then run for each loop into each items. This part is clear. Now, Excel file. So this class is items to be searched is responsible for reading data from Excel file. So create instance of Excel file reader class, right? And this is for page factor initialization. In it, right? And this, when I read data from Excel file. And running for each loop. Okay. So this all three is about searching, and this is the drop-down menu search. Any questions on this? So there's three different plus, right, can be mentioned here. So one is by database, one is by data provider, right? And this is for the drop-down menu. So 4 classes, search items by Excel. Now it should be okay. That, huh? Say again? This one? No, this is search items dot drop down menu search. First one. So we have 4 classes here, right? So we have 4 classes, which is for 4 test cases. Well, it's more than test cases. 4 features, you could say. Well, 3 of them is same with different source of data. Same data we're searching. One is Excel, which is we have Excel file data here, and the list can grow as you need, right? List can grow, and then we have database connections if you want to read data from database. right? And then we have by Excel by data provider from Excel. Also data provider from TestNG. That's all you have. Any questions, sir? All right, let's move on. Should do JMeter today. So, well, there's more few things need to be covered in the framework, but how far you are? You're supposed to submit your update by Wednesday. Do we have the frameworks for team? Okay, so to go over that team. To read a specific column from Excel sheet, you have to give the specific column name, right? So maybe you could say